Hey guys, Gibberish HSC today. Today, we're going to be talking about the new Diamond Gallery statue of Agent Venom. We're going to be talking about the overall feel, the quality, and of course the representation of this statue. And is it worth your time to buy? Let's find out. So if you don't know, Agent Venom is one of the characters from Marvel Comics. He's a very popular character around now, especially with the Venom symbiote being a very popular thing with the Maximum Carnage comics going around. I work at Walmart, and if you haven't seen at your local Walmart, they are currently putting out Halloween costumes right now. And if you look, the Halloween costumes, a lot of them are actually Venomized characters. It's pretty cool. We have a Venomized Hulk, a Venomized Iron Man. I think I saw a Venomized Captain America. They're kids' costume, but it shows that the Venom symbiote idea is a very popular one right now that people are going for. And so it was a good choice and good time for Diamond Gallery to make this statue. Agent Venom is a very popular character, and I really like him. So when I saw there was a statue of him, I had to go out. So, Agent Venom. Let's talk about the three main things we talk about when reviewing a statue. We're going to talk about the representation of the statue. You know, how does he represent from the comics, the Agent Venom style? How does that all work? And then we're going to talk about overall quality. How does the statue work as a statue? Is the material good? Is it flimsy? Is it sturdy? Let's go about that. And the final thing is the overall feeling is how this is in your room. How does this feel when you look at it? Does it make you happy? Whatever that is, we're going to talk about that. So let's start with number one, representation. So Agent Venom has a lot of cool things to him that I enjoy. He has a lot of cool abilities, and I really think the most outstanding part of this is the gun and the helmet. The gun is a big prop on this, and it is a big freaking grenade launcher, and I think that's really cool. And then the mask really does a good job. It's very simple, but it's very slick, and I like it. I think they did a great job. He's very armoredized, if that makes sense. Armored up, bulky, and that is how he's supposed to be. He's like a Marine with a symbiote on him. So of course he's going to be very large, very bulky overall. Now, I will have a picture of the comic version of him here, and him as you see in the statue right here. Now, Venom is a very cool character, Agent Venom, but one of my problems with this statue is I love the shoulders. I think they're very well done, but they don't have as many spikes as Agent Venom does. I feel like it's kind of weird, but I feel like they just should have had more spikes there. That is a little more representative of how the comics have it. I'm kind of a fan of how that is. I think it adds a little more texture, but it could have gone in a way, I think, of the statue. So I don't hold it against them too much. The really cool thing about this is I love the Venom logo on his chest. It has a lot. The statue is a little bit lower in like kind of those things which will go in overall quality. You can kind of tell that with some of the paint jobs that you see here. But in overall, I think it does do a very good job representing Agent Venom in the comics and all of that. I like the little platform he's standing on. I think it's very neat. It looks like he's on a mission. And if you just kind of feel the different textures of him feel very well for the represent of how he is in like the it looks very bulky. He looks like a Marine, and to me that's very important. We haven't had like a live action representation of Agent Venom, but for the comic version, they're usually a little simpler in like when the design is brought to statue. One thing you'll notice is most of the comic representations are like less detailed than maybe you say like an Iron Man from Endgame, something like that. That's because comics tend not to have as much detail into the actual armor aspect because they're 2D, they're drawn, different things like that. In Endgame, you can see every part of Iron Man's detail and how it's designed and how it works and all of that. Comics have a little less flexibility in that era, so whenever you get a representation from comic book to statue, you should probably expect a more simplistic design. So even though like there's no spikes, it is still a very good design pulled from a comic into that. So I think it does fairly well on the overall representation scale. So did pretty good. I'm happy with it in representation. Let's go into overall quality. Overall quality of this statue is pretty good. It is very sturdy on its platform. I never felt like this could fall over. That is a very important thing, which not all statues actually achieve. But this statue is a pretty good one that I am very happy with in its durability, and it poses really well. This kind of goes into representation, but the way it poses and how it's firm on there, it looks very well done. And it's a great way of keeping him steady while making him look kind of like he would in the comics. So I think they did a very good job with that. Some things that are a little weak are like the gun. The gun is a little flimsy in some areas, but it is not too bad. It's mainly the end of it that you have to be a little careful with, and like the top part of it can be a little wiggly. That's only if like you have a child trying to pick it up by that. I wouldn't recommend that, but this is a pretty good statue and overall. The shoulders do wiggle a little bit, but besides the gun and the shoulders, like they're very minor wiggle things. So like I don't hold that really too much against it. No one's going to be trying to like wiggle the shoulders or anything like that. So for what you get, it's pretty well done. One thing I have not mentioned actually, which has surprised me, is the price of the statue. It is at $50. I'll probably have it in the title of this video. But for $50, the overall quality is pretty important. So for $50, it is a little more than an average diamond gallery. I would say most diamond galleries average around $40. So this is a little more. You get to $10. You expect more, right? Well, this one does a pretty good job. It is a very unique statue, and it does a great job in representing what it's trying to do while having a sturdy foundation. I think the back with the gun, the two pistols here are very well done, and you can kind of tell too that, you know, like it's just very well built. Like it's made of PVC. It's gonna be firm. You don't have to worry too much about like with too much of like of parts chipping off. I would be careful when dusting it. You know, a lot of dust can sometimes plate over it, and that can chip off some of the artwork. So do dust it like once every 2 weeks. That will help keep it fresh and nice. Now let's get into the final part of our review, right? How the overall feel. So the overall feel of this statue is pretty good. When you see it from afar, the little details of the representation or quality that you see up front is not as transparent. From far away, this looks like a very clean, very simple statue. And that is important because Agent Venom is actually a pretty simple character. He's Flash Thompson, working for S.H.I.E.L.D., and a symbiote. That's all you really need to know. Yeah, there are more in-depth parts and character of him, but that's all you need to know for this. And I think for a comic book representation, it does a very good job of that. Of overall quality, it does a pretty good job of that. So I am very happy with this and overall feel. When I walk into the room, I know straight away, holy crap, that's Agent Venom. The huge freaking gun he's got, the two pistols on the side, the big symbol on the back and on the chest are pretty good. I really enjoy it a lot. I think it does a great job of everything it's trying to achieve. And some ways it does lack in quality a little bit because, you know, like I said, the shoulder, the gun do wiggle a little bit. You can see a little gaps in like the paint, which I'm not sure if were on purpose or were like to show like the war. There's also a part where you can see like a separate collar, and there's a separate part in the paint there. It looks a little weird to me, but in overall, I would say the paint job is well done. The overall feeling is overall done. I'm very happy with the statue. For $50, this is a pretty good statue. If I've got a comic book nerd looking for something, this is a statue I would definitely recommend. It's very well done. I can't say that enough. In conclusion, This statue is a steal for the price. For $50, you get a really cool character who's very unique. You don't see a lot of him. If you're a huge comic book fan, I would definitely recommend it. If you're more just a Marvel fan and not as much of like, you're just wanting another Venom one, this would be a great addition to your Venom collection. If not, you can also do some of the other Diamond Gallery statues they have of Venom, of like Venom and Eddie Brock, which are pretty cool. I think this one's better than like the Eddie Brock and Venom one where he's like separating from it, because it's much more structured and less cartoony. I like a lot of the cartoon aspects that the Diamond Gallery add to their statues, but I also like the more serious ones that grip you a little more. And this one I feel like is a much more serious, simple statue that did a very good job of it. Yeah, are there some things I would change? Yes, there are some things I would change. But overall, I'm very happy with this, and I think it was worth the buy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out my other statue reviews about the new Jaina and Sylvana statues. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!